All right, let's go right to the podium. Here's head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Incredible. So you have to take care of the ball.
You guys are down.
They're doing a nice job of taking care of the ball. They're winning that turnover margin. We know how important that is to winning and losing. So huge challenge for us, AFC opponent on the road. So we have to have a great week of practice. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Hey, Kevin, you mentioned how tough it is to play. With Dorian, how much of a challenge is that in his first road start in the NFL? Do you think he learned anything from how you guys handled that Seattle situation?
Yeah, I think we do lean on that Seattle week. When you go into these buildings and stadiums that are that loud, there are certain things that you have to do offensively to communicate, and that's communicating in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, on the sideline. So Dorian obviously was a big part of that and experienced that, but yeah, it's a tough place to play, and the crowd noise is a big part of that.
Kevin, 4 months later, did the Greenbrier work? Did you get the intended results out of that?
I don't know. I think for me, I can barely remember it.
Where were we? We've had guys like bring it up in other questions. So has someone brought it up to you, like that they thought it worked?
Worked from which perspective? Getting the football
Not
team?
operationally, camaraderie, chemistry.
Yeah, I think when we talked about it, I mean, a part of that is wherever you go and you're under one roof, it's very organic to come together and hang out. And it's just, my experience at the Vikings all those years, we went away to Mankato, which was an hour away, and you were under one roof. Gage Hall was the dormitory, no longer standing. But I just think there was a shared group of guys in one place. So I think from that perspective, it's a way of getting guys to hang out with each other when it's hard to do when you're jumping in the car and you're heading home after practice.
First impressions of Joe Flacco.
Joe's done a great job. He and I have a lot of mutual people in this business that we know. I have not worked with Joe previously, but has been in a lot of systems, so somebody that I can talk to about different systems, different coaches, things he's called, things in the past. So a wealth of knowledge and a great resource for not just the quarterback room, but this entire team.
He doesn't feel the need to necessarily put Dorian at ease, knowing that he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback and what have you. Have you had those conversations with him, though, about what his role is and how he's going to kind of blend in here?
Yeah, he's a pro. He just has to be a great teammate, and that's what he's done. And part of being a great teammate is showing up and doing your job. And think about all the guys we've had over the years, veterans that provide great leadership without having to say much. We have guys on our roster now that do that. So Joe's just going to be himself in his own unique and authentic way, and help this football team by the way he prepares.
Who your number 2 quarterback in Denver is going to be?
We'll worry about all the roster stuff, throughout the weeks, but no.
Kevin, did you observe the little workout with Flacco?
Yes.
Think of his mobility at age 38.
Looked better than you at 38.
Kevin, you were obviously complimentary of what Denver's done in these last couple of weeks. First 4 weeks of the season, they lost 3 games by 1 point, and now if you look at that 4-game win streak, they've won 3 of their last 4 games by 1 or 2 points. Turnovers obviously part of that, but are you noticing that they're doing something differently that's kind of trying to flip those once tight games?
Yeah, there's always little nuances to scheme that you adjust as the season goes on, and you come into a season thinking you're going to be doing one thing, and you oftentimes adjust based on what's in front of you and how you're doing. So there's certainly things that they're adjusting from a schematic standpoint, but I can't overstate how important that turnover margin is when you're talking about winning and losing.
Kevin, it's natural for a young player when you bring in someone as accomplished as Joe to kind of wonder what it means for them. So what was your message to Dorian this week with Joe coming in?
Yeah, honestly, Dorian needs to focus on his job. That's what he's done his whole time he's been here. He's done a great job. We had a spot in the room. We had to add a quarterback. I think we added a guy with great experience who fits in really well in that room. But as far as it relates to Dorian's preparation, nothing changes.
We don't get to talk to Jim Schwartz tomorrow, but as great as the defense played, the one Achilles seems to be, that small, shifty third down back like Keaton Mitchell and last week Warren. They've got some guys with Denver. I mean, is there a focal point, to try to slow that guy down?
Yeah. Well, those are good players that you just mentioned, Fred. So You're going to play in these games where there's going to be some, whether they're big and physical or small and physical, you got to find ways to get them on the ground. There's definitely plays that we can fit better, that we can tackle better. That will never change. We're always trying to play sound defense, certainly sound run defense. Takes all 11 guys doing their job, being where they're supposed to be, and then ultimately just getting the player on the ground.
Victory over you guys in week 2 last year with the Jets give you kind of the knowledge or the vibe that he still has plenty left in the tank?
Well, I think with Joe, he's got that's just one game. I think he has plenty of games that you can evaluate over his career. Again, brought him in for a workout to see physically how he looked, but I think it's a total evaluation of his whole career, really.
What did you think of how that tackle rotation worked with Hudson and DeJuan? And is that something you want to keep doing, or was that something you did just out of necessity with DeJuan coming back?
Yeah, we'll see, really, as we move forward, see how DeJuan continues to respond coming off that injury. But we'll always use our players in spots where we feel like they're best.
And Deshaun comes in here with that reputation, and players, gravitate to him like immediately. So how have you seen that relationship with the players and Dorian be growing?
Yeah, but Dorian's a rookie. He's a young player. He's, first things first, do your job, and I think he's doing that. And I think veterans respect when you're a young player and you work at your craft. So that's something that I've seen from Dorian really from day one. He works very hard at his job, and I think he's getting even better at working at his job, and his teammates see him prepare. But as the starting quarterback, when you're out there, you're leading the football team. You're leading the offense. It's just how it goes with the territory, and it's something that Dorian's very comfortable doing. He's done it his whole life.
Kevin, Denzel and Grant are on that pre-practice report. Is there concern that they won't be ready for something?
We'll see. It's Wednesday.
With AWOC, is he a candidate for IR, or is it something
No.
they can keep?
Yeah.
But on Russell Wilson and just how well he's been playing, especially in this 4-game stretch.
Yeah, Russell's playing great. I've seen him play quite a bit over my career and just watching him, and I was fortunate enough to be part of the coaching staff down there at the Senior Bowl when he was coming out. So I got to know Russell for that week and just was an unbelievable person, unbelievable player. I think he's playing at a high level, like I mentioned, taking care of the football, running their offense really, really well, and is very capable of making those off-schedule plays that he's made his whole career. You've seen him do it in these games. He gets out of the pocket, and he can run. He can throw it to all areas of the field. So he's a major point of this offense.
Does Flacco's exposure to Kubiak in Baltimore make it a little easier for him to transition to their offense?
I think that helps. Some of the stuff he did with Coach LaFleur at the Jets as well. He's been in Denver, was with Rich Scangarello, so he's been in similar systems. So when you're a quarterback like Joe and you've been in a bunch of systems, you're pretty good at picking these playbooks up quickly. So he's working hard at that.
And when it comes to road games, you use the crowd noise in practice to get guys ready. So how do you get them ready for being a mile high?
Yeah, I think that's all part. Every team that goes into their building talks about that. There are things that you can do during the week to prepare yourself. There's things that you can do during the game to prepare yourself. But we also have guys that have played there both as a visitor and played there as being a Bronco. So we have insight into that as well.
What kind of instant cred do you have in the locker room and in the meetings and out on the field when you're a former Super Bowl MVP and these guys know you've been there and done it?
Yeah, I don't know that the players look at it that way. Mary Kay, I think they see, a guy that's joining our team as a teammate is going to do whatever he's asked to do. In the meeting rooms, on the practice field, you name it, Joe's really just goes about his business.
I know it's only been a couple of days, but have you seen Dorian start to pick Joe's brain at all, just about his experience in the league?
I think all those conversations happen really in every meeting. I sit in there in the quarterback meetings this morning and throughout this week. You talk a lot about what you see on film and your different experiences. So I think between Joe and PJ with AVP, I think there's a lot of experienced people in there that can help a young player.
Yeah, but how does Sean Payton tweak that offense over the course of this season? How are they different from where they were even maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean they're explosive. They have explosive playmakers on the perimeter from their backfield. Talked about Russell as the quarterback, I mean, they can be super explosive. And I think the thing you're seeing recently is just how well they're taking care of the ball, which complements how their defense is playing as well.
Back to Dorian's leadership. The guys before the game said that they were impressed with him kind of correcting them and knowing what to do, and then we saw that on that last 2 minutes, him pick Kareem up and put him in place. Has he impressed you with his ability to not only understand the playbook, but to be able to get his team rallied around it and show them what they need to do?
Well, I think that's the quarterback's job, Cam. Regardless of how many years you're in this thing, that's your job, to direct traffic, to operate, to get people lined up, those type of things. So that's why he works so hard, and young quarterbacks have to work so hard at knowing their job so they can help everybody else do their job.
A couple more. Steve's passage had a lot to do with how the game's called last week. But the more Dorian's out there in the plays, do you feel like you can expand, I guess, play calls and game plan?
Yeah, I think every game plan is different. Every game plan is based on what what you're doing, what the defense is doing, what they're taking away, those type of things. So I think you have to be ready going into every week of figuring out based on matchups what you want to do.
Kevin, pretty much the top half of the league, the teams that are playing best are the ones that have had their opening day starting quarterback successfully stay healthy. You guys are the exception to that, and you've found ways to win games despite the fluidity in that room. What is it about the culture you've created at quarterback that has allowed for you guys to stay successful despite having several different guys play?
Yeah, we just look at it as we have a job to do regardless of who's playing any of our positions. This is how it works in the NFL. Guys are in and out of your lineup, and we just know that we have a job to do. Okay, thanks, guys.
You're up. All right, there you go. There's Coach at the podium. Welcome into Cleveland Browns Daily. Merely Bo, the great Z. How you living, buddy? You're
Great.
Up. You're up. Yeah, you're good.
We're good.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
It's a Wednesday. Well, I was listening. I was doing listening and writing. It's a Wednesday. We're getting ready to roll here. I'm good, man. You know, this is another opportunity, as Kevin Stefanski would say, for a team that's hot. We're hot, 5-6. They've won 4 in a row. They being the Denver Broncos. But, you dive into it and you say, how are they winning? Well, it's simple. They have 13 takeaways in the last 4 games, 12 of which have come in the last 3.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And yet, in a game in which they turned the ball over 4 times against the Buffalo Bills, had they not had 12 men on the field, they lose. And in the game in which they turned it over 3 times against the Minnesota Vikings, coming down to it, they had a chance to lose. They only were able to produce 1 touchdown all game, and that was on their final drive. So what they're doing, much like the Steelers before, not sustainable, turnover reliant.
Yep.
And I think that the Browns match up very, very well with them. I think this is another opportunity for our defense to completely, snuff out an offense. And we'll see how it goes. Russell Wilson is playing well. They do not turn the football over. He has 12 touchdowns and 1 pick at home.
Yeah, it's a really conservative.
It's real conservative
approach, and they've won with it by not turning it over. There's not much down the field. It's all short. It's all checked down. It's, that's kind of the way that it goes. So I think that they'll have a hell of a hard time with our front, and I think we ought to be able to fly to the ball and have a little bit of success.
Their leading receiver in terms of receptions, and he was second in terms of yards last week, was Samaje Perine, the former Cincinnati Bengal, like a running back.
Yeah.
They completed in the game last week 14 passes to running backs. They completed 11 to wide receivers, 13 if you add in tight ends. So he completed more passes to running backs than he did to his receivers and tight ends.
There you go. That's kind of gives you an idea of where they are.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we will officially turn the page to the Broncos. Take a look at the injury report. We had a designee as well on our team coming back. So it makes us very happy. We'll meet the Broncos. Stay on the program. What else we got, Gibby?
Got a lot of stuff. A little
DTR.
guess the spread. DTR.
Guess the spread is
higher,
happening.
lower.
Oh, yeah. Higher,
Thursday
lower.
Scores.
The best part is I've completely forgotten everything from the Thursday games.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that in the least.
We'll see if I can nail it. We'll see if I can nail it.
I don't think there's any chance of that. A steel trap memory, especially when it benefits you.
In this case, it would.
It would.
I acknowledged it yesterday.
Yes.
I said, well, I just actually looked right at these.
Yes. Yeah, Nana pleased with that honesty out of you today.
Well, there's been honesty all along. Just unfounded accusations, really, is what I've been.
I don't know that there were straight up accusations. Certainly
implications.
Implication, I would grant you. Big implications. It was just so many exactly
Why can't I
right.
be hot?
There were just so many exactly right. So
Good.
many.
I'm good. Yeah.
Exactly right.
That's right. Listen,
All right.
I'll Larry David you. I'll go right in your eyes all day long, baby. Nothing to hide here.
We're off and running. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. We had a big moment here on the program today. Yesterday, for a moment, because he was regaling us with his tales of his bowling, Ocho/Griff had jumped Uno into pole position of favored intern. It was a remarkable afternoon for Ocho yesterday.
I mean,
the electricity of the bowling stories, the just being able to paint such a glorious, vivid picture of life on the lanes.
Can I add to that?
Please.
Earlier today, Griff dropped a fun fact on us.
Go ahead.
He said, "You know how we were talking about Kingpin yesterday?
Yeah.
You know the scene in the end in the final tournament when Big Ern McCracken hits the turkey and goes wild, and the crowd is losing their minds for him. His hair his comb over's flopping in the wind.
Yep.
Turns out, Bill Murray himself actually bowled a turkey.
Oh, that's
so that was
legit?
A real turkey,
reaction,
and that's why people are losing their minds for him.
How many strikes do you have to get in a row to get a turkey? 3, and then you get it.
That's it. And that's courtesy of Griff as well.
So, wow. So he was trending in the right direction. And then Joe Flacco met the media today. And there are these images going around of Flacco at the podium. And what do I see in the background of the images? Our beautiful boy. Uno.
Let's put him on the camera.
Prominently lurking.
We don't know what's on camera right now.
I don't. Everyone.
It's a
There's
Tuscan
nobody
sun.
here. Like, we're here. Nobody else is here. Players and coaches are here. That's it. Nobody cares about any of this.
We care.
People are cocktailing already. This is the first Friday. You're going to go back to Old Home Week and have a bar and hit on your high school girlfriend. Like, all that's happening
Let
tonight.
me tell you something. Jimmy Bang Bang at 9 a.m. this morning was
He's ready.
rolling Bloody Marys.
Of course he was.
Of course he was.
Bang Bang's not messing around.
No, legend.
He's out there having it.
So Jimmy pulled a move I have never seen before. So we were having breakfast this morning together, and he was there before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Mary rolling.
Yep.
Doesn't like olives, so he took the olives.
All right.
3 of them on a toothpick or whatever it was that was in there. It was one of the ones with the curl at the top, so you could actually hold it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
An olive stick, I'll call it.
Yeah, not hard olive sticks.
He didn't want it in his Bloody Mary.
Okay.
So I feel like here are the options that are before you, right? You put it on your bread plate. You say, put it in a napkin and fold it up.
Yep.
You say, hey, can you bring me a cup to
off
put
to
this
the
in? Or
side.
here, can I give
Yeah.
this to you? Don't need it. So I sit down. Jimmy Bang Bang's got 3 glasses in front of him. He's got his coffee.
Yep.
He's got a Bloody Mary, and he's got his ice water.
Okay.
And I look to my left, where my buddy the cook was sitting. There's a water glass.
Yep.
With the olive stick and 3 olives in it.
Okay.
And when I looked at it, because the olive juice had come out, it almost gives it that little viscosity to the water. So I was like, somebody's ripping like
a martini,
martini
out
out of like a water glass. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like we live in a society. Like we have things to do. It's like I got to come interview Dorian Thompson Robinson. I've got to keep it on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
So it turns out that the only person who did have a drink was Jimmy Bang Bang, but that he got rid of his olives by putting them in the water glass of somebody who had not yet arrived.
Bang Bang. I mean, the answer here's the napkin. That's what you do there.
There's a lot of different
You just
answers.
drop the napkin, unless it was like a cloth napkin. But if it was any sort of like, something to deal with the moisture of a glass napkin, that's where it goes, bud.
Yeah, no.
You know,
but here's some olive water in case you're interested in it.
You'd like some olive water.
It's great.
That would have been amazing if you just had acted like that was a martini out of a water glass.
I thought it was. I was like, what am I walking into right now?
8 fingers of vodka with in a water glass.
That's
classic.
Yeah.
It's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good job out of you, Ono. You're back in the mix. That was A+ lurking out of you to get right back in there. Prominently featured in every photograph of Joe Flacco today.
Yeah, and my mom just sent me one on Twitter where I'm smiling behind it. Joe Flacco's making jokes.
Now we're
It's a
talking.
beautiful sight.
This is what now we're talking.
Do you even know if you're on? We don't know. We see a beautiful beach.
It looks like Bora Bora to me.
Yeah, it looks like a butte.
Yeah.
Sometimes Griff lets me know, and sometimes he doesn't. So
it's definitely
always a
French
surprise to me.
Polynesia. That last shot on the screensaver.
Here it looks like rice fields, maybe.
Could be.
It's not vineyards.
No,
I'd like it to be, but it's not. Look at them. Oh, look at them. Look at
Stacking
them. Let's go.
Stacking them,
Just
baby.
walking around.
One after another.
Oh,
Just
man.
Dub.
Yeah,
that's the way that goes.
The luminaries are here. It's
That's
good
right.
to know.
Couple of them. Couple of luminaries are bouncing around a little bit.
Sure.
We announced yesterday we've placed safety Rodney McLeod Jr. on IR. We also released the statement about Deshaun Watson. We saw this. He had successful shoulder surgery in Los Angeles on Tuesday, and the rehab process is going to begin on Friday. Full recovery expected prior to the 2024 season. There you go.
There you go. And the Browns, have you mentioned our buddy coming back? Have you gotten to that one yet?
I was leaving that
All right.
for you.
Sure. Cleveland Browns
Your
have
boy.
designated linebacker Jordan Kunashik to
Let's
return from injured reserve. Now, there's also an addition here because, as you mentioned, Rodney McLeod goes on IR. In addition, the team has signed safety Duron Harmon.
Okay.
Longtime New England Patriot in his 11th NFL season out of Rutgers, third-round pick of the Patriots in 2013. He's appeared in 164 games with 79 starts for the Patriots, Lions, Falcons, Raiders, and Bears, 23 career interceptions. He's appeared in 4 Super Bowls. He's helped New England win 3. He was with the Ravens on their practice squad before the start of the 2023 season, before being signed to Chicago's active roster, making 3 appearances with 1 start, and now he is a Cleveland Brown. And he's somebody who can play in that dime package that obviously is a veteran that the team knows. And obviously you got Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell, but it wouldn't surprise me to see, with the way we use 3 safeties, to see Harmon be on our active roster sooner rather than later, or at least be a practice squad elevation for a few weeks. Also, fun fact, represented by the agent to the Stars, Andy Sims.
Still waiting for my hoodie, Simsy. Never happened. Sad. Hate to see that.
I'm looking at the camera not knowing if they're seeing
Not knowing
me.
if we're on or not. I have no idea. I don't know if we're streaming this program or not.
It's a schooner.
That's exactly what that is. We also have, speaking of the safety position, Delpit with a thigh, Thornhill with a calf, both held out of practice today. Denzel Ward with a shoulder designation on that one as well. So that's where we stand from an injury standpoint today.
Yeah, I'll talk to me when we get to Friday. We'll see where we're at, but feel pretty good about the principal guys, and I think Juan's got a good shot to be back this week.
All right, there you go. Kunashik back, and that's a fun one. We liked him a great deal, and so he's coming back. Be sure to check out the Browns social media channels daily to play the Browns digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats and other great prizes presented by the Ohio Lottery of the Cleveland Browns, the official lottery of the Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, we will meet the Denver Broncos. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, and live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Pet Supplies Plus give you a chance to win tickets to home games all season long while providing the best deals for your pet at over 75 stores throughout Ohio. Enter to win at clevelandbrowns.com/Pet Supplies Plus. Receive a coupon to use at your local store with your entry. Pet Supplies Plus is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to meet your Denver Broncos. Sean Payton is your head coach, career record of 164 and 101. First season after 16 years in New Orleans, including a Super Bowl championship. The all-time series, Denver pretty dominant, 24-7. We have split the last 4 times we have played. Last time we played, the Browns won in late October of 2021 in Cleveland, 17-14. We also have the Cole game.
That was Thursday night.
That's right.
That was Dearness Johnson.
That was the Dearness Johnson
Case
game.
Keenum.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then the Cole game was, I want to say 2018, Jabril Peppers.
It's out there, right?
Yeah, in Denver. Jabril Peppers gets a late either interception or sack. I think a sack. Late blitz on a sack. Gets a sack and seals the game for us.
Peppers was, gosh, it seems like another lifetime ago. That was the first time we'd seen the Shearling, right? And then it was ran out again.
And then he comes out and then he's blowing kisses.
Blowing kisses.
Yeah, the great Cole.
The great Cole. Yeah. Slinging real estate on 30A now. A lot of good stuff to be bought out of the Cole. I like it. I like what he's seeing.
I'm sure he's doing quite well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a proprietor. The last time out, Denver beat Minnesota 21-20. After a very slow start, they're on a bit of a roll, Dr. Z.
Yeah, they've won 4 in a row. They sit at 5-5. Russell Wilson not doing anything crazy. He's averaging 206 yards passing per game this season, but completing 69% of his passes, 19 touchdowns, only 4 picks, and a rating of 104.3. He has been sacked 32 times, though, in 10 games this year, so 3.2 a game. The Browns should be able to get after him and get after this passing attack. When they run it, Javonte Williams is the leading rusher, 122 carries, 473 yards, yet to rush for a touchdown this year, 3.9 yards a carry. He has 23 catches for 125 yards and 2 scores out of the backfield. They've got a young rookie, Jaleel McLaughlin, 45 rushes, 277 and a touch, averaging 6.2 yards a carry, but didn't play much last week. And then they've got Samaje Perine. He's got 118 yards rushing, 4 yards a carry, but he has 32 catches. That's third on the team. 326 yards, also third on the team receiving. He's averaging 10 yards a catch as a running back. So you got to keep an eye on those checkdowns. We mentioned that. When they throw it, Cortland Sutton, leading receiver, 45 catches, 499 yards, 8 touchdowns on the season, which has to put him amongst the league leaders.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, 35 catches, 429, and a touchdown himself. They don't really throw it to their tight ends much. Adam Troutman, he's got 15 for 117 and a touchdown. And then they've got a speedy rookie, Marvin Mims, 13 catches, 258 yards. That's 19.8 a pop and a touchdown, but has not done much recently. He's also their kick returner and their punt returner. He does have a kick return touchdown this season for them. On the defensive side of the ball, this is so like the Steelers. 32nd in total defense, 24th versus the pass, 32nd versus the run, 30th. Uh-oh.
Oh, baby.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
What do we have?
Uno.
He stepped out.
He's too busy
All
lurking.
right.
He's lurking.
Which is true. Hold on, let me go to my boards. I'll tell you in a second. So they're 30th in scoring defense. He said 32nd in total defense and 30th in total defense. No, total scoring defense.
Scoring defense.
Yeah, so not a great defense.
That's not a terrible error out of Uno.
No,
in the middle of the intern battle
No.
that we handicapped earlier in the show. He's still okay.
It's a demerit.
It's
Details
a demerit.
matter.
Yeah, details do matter. Little things become big things.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Did I hear a door?
Uno, you screwed up. I'm kidding. You had a minor error in the numbers.
Yeah, just a minor error. No big deal.
Error
but no big deal. But in other words,
it may or may not affect your standing with the other Griff.
He's right.
Neck and neck.
They're neck and
neck. You had him 32nd in total defense, valid. But then you also have it go 24th versus the pass, 32nd versus the run, 30th in total defense. Scoring defense,
Uno.
Scoring defense.
Sad.
That's good. No,
Uno's wearing shorts today, by the way.
He is.
I don't
He's
blame
great.
him.
He's
It's
got
a
a great
mindset.
zest.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. So, like the Steelers, remember, bottom of the league and everything, except for what? Turnovers.
Turnovers, baby.
So they've got on the season 19 takeaways, which ties them. That has to tie them for the Steelers for most. The Steelers had 18 going into last week. They got 1. Turnover differential is +6. That's 5th best in the NFL. That right there is the reason that they are successful. And what belies, the other part that kind of belies what their overall ranking is, it's simple, folks. They call them money downs for a reason.
That's right.
They're 15th on third down, which is not great, but still top half of the league, far from being the bottom. And they are 14th in the red zone. And when you can be effective that way, they're 11th in goal-to-go situations. Then you turn 7s into 3s, and you have a chance to win the game. And so that's who they are. By the way, I love this. Return of rest, the 4 horsemen. I love that. It's beautiful stuff there.
Yeah.
You turn around their defense. What do they have? What jumps out to you? Well, it's people on the back end, and it's Patrick Surtain. He's their stud. He's their best defensive player. He's Justin Simmons, their free safety, is elite as well. He's got 3 interceptions, this year. That leads the team. Surtain's got 9 passes defense that leads the team. Jaquan McMillan's got a couple of picks. They will be without Kareem Jackson, who has 2 interceptions, been suspended for 4 games, so we won't see him. Alex Singleton leads the team with 100 tackles already. He's got 4 straight seasons of 100+. He had 16 last week.
Jeez.
Racking up the tackles out of Montana State. Did you know?
How about that?
How about it? There he is.
Look at that.
100 tackles. 6.5 tackles for loss. I didn't know you could have half tackles for loss, but maybe you can somewhere. I like it.
Dubious.
Who's that? Who is this? Who's responsible for this?
Who's this? Who's responsible
For what?
This slide.
The slide that was on the screen.
Alex Singleton's slide.
Griff.
Oh, Griff. Demerit.
3 tackles for loss, Griff. Not 6.5. Nonetheless, 100 tackles, impressive.
This is what happens when we praise them publicly.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we've got to.
I'm
praise them
there's
too
some
much.
fact checking going on about that right now. We think we might be right on that.
How can you?
You can't have a half of a tackle for a loss.
I'm in. They both said you definitely.
Okay, this is Pro Football Reference. These are like the official stats.
I don't know. Is this like the group that takes away sacks from us?
He has
like
3
minutes
tackles
after
for
the
a
game?
loss.
I've never seen a stat in my life of half of a tackle for loss.
No.
Half sack?
Half sacks, of course.
Sure.
Sacks are split. Tackles for loss, no. Get there first. You got it. Nick Benito tied for the team lead with 5.5 sacks. He has 9 tackles for a loss, which is a nice round number. We see that. And by the way, that checks out, both of those. Well done. Also 15 quarterback hits. Zach Allen, their big defensive lineman, he's got 3 sacks. And then Jonathan Cooper on the other side, 5.5 sacks, 9 quarterback hits as well. So they can get after the quarterback a little bit. Nick Benito was the teammate. He's out of Oklahoma, teammate of our own Isaiah Thomas. He went in the second round, but he's small, 6'3", 240.
All right.
I on ESPN.com 6.5. It
Tackles
is on
for loss.
ESPN.com.
Go to Griff. We remove the demerit. We assign it to ESPN. We also would urge you to go to ProFootballReference.com for your stats going forward.
Yeah, that's fair.
In all fairness, I had to point that out.
Demerit removed. Who's making these stats up now? That's what I want to know.
Are we just making stats up? Is
Well,
that where we're
again,
at? We're just making things up?
I'm throwing it out there.
When we do a quarter
take away-
tackle?
we
Like,
get
what the hell are we
sacks
doing?
taken away from our guys 30 minutes after a game.
Yeah, they call them
the next
team
day.
sacks is what ends up happening to us there.
Yeah, I've never seen a half tackle for loss. What is ESPN trying to pull here? I mean, they tried this with QBR, and that never took off.
It's just yeah, agreed. Made up. We're on this. We're getting on this right now.
Yeah. Are you guys going to Boulder?
I don't believe so.
Remember, we got those lovely shirts. I wore it last week.
I just don't think I'm going to have time.
Just not enough time to get out there.
Yeah, it's like
we don't get in till like 4:30, and then
Mountain.
I've got to go to the stadium and set up. I mean, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock before I'm at the hotel, even to catch my breath.
Yeah, and then you're looking at you're a 4:05, so that'll be a 2:05 local.
Yep, I'm on
kick.
a bus at 8:30 in the morning.
Why?
We got to be there. We're on the air for pregame at 10 a.m.
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning Mountain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 8:30 local time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way that goes. Pregame starts at 10 a.m. local.
4 hours, baby.
Okay. You're speaking in Denver time to me the whole
Yes.
time, right? You're
Yes.
You're doing that. Okay.
It'll
All right.
start here at noonish.
I'm trying to get my brain set on what's going to be the next 9 days.
And I always leave my watch when I go west. I leave my watch here, and the phone obviously travels with the time that's out there, but the watch stays local. Is the way that thing goes. Are you getting an answer on this?
NFL.com doesn't even provide tackle for loss stats, which is outrageous. Yeah. So far, I've only seen Pro Football Reference is what
I've always
been
Pro
told.
Football Reference as well.
That's the standard, so that's what I've always used.
All right, to clarify what we found on ESPN, I believe the stat is called stuffs, which is tackles for loss behind or at the line of scrimmage, which he has 6.5 of.
That is a different stat, and you're right. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was leading the NFL in that stat as of 2 weeks ago. But negative, no yard gains are not called tackles for loss.
So I think ESPN is confusing the two of those things.
They're adding
They're
them
not
together.
listing them
They're putting them
separately
together?
or something, but it's a weird thing.
Brown's Therapy has Gibby slapping you, which is very funny. Have you seen any of Brown's Therapy's work yet? Are you aware of it, Uno?
I've seen some of
the
it
level?
before. I haven't seen
You're now
today's.
So,
you're
all right, hold on.
prominently featured.
NFL.com, as I dive into it, they have him with 3 tackles for loss, which is what we had from Pro Football Reference.
Yeah,
right?
ESPN's making stuff up. With these
making
stats,
stuff.
man.
Yep, it's good learning. Good learning. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true.
Sad.
Yeah,
but
There you
Griff,
go.
no demerit.
No, he's fine.
Enjoy some chorizo.
And it's just learning.
I got a package of chorizo today.
Come again?
Griff, will you bring
chorizo?
it in?
Like pork.
I'll show you exactly. I
need to see it.
I had an envelope on my desk.
All right.
I opened the envelope.
All right, let me see. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here.
And this is what was in it.
A sausage.
With 3 Sisters Meats Spanish-style chorizo, Spanish-style dry-cured sliced chorizo, and 3 Sisters Meats Spanish-style.
Interesting. It's got 2. It really has 2 logos. So there is what appears to be like a sister, like from the church, as like the primary logo. But then atop there also is 3 lions, male lions.
Yeah. With manes. Kind of
so that this
eating
would be
each other's necks.
Yeah. I like both logos. One seems to fit with the name, and the other one I'm curious about.
Yeah, so if you sent this, thanks.
There was nothing, nothing.
No note. There was
Just
a padded
sausage.
envelope on my desk. I opened it.
Here's sausage.
I pulled it out, and I said, what is this?
So
I said, well, this is unique, which got me to where Griff asked me, what's the most unique thing or yeah, that's the way I'll phrase it, that's ever been sent to me.
I'm glad you cleaned that up. We have gone off the rails.
And my answer
Ray's gone
was,
bye-bye. Egon, what do you got
remember
left?
this? Where like that group
first
of
Friday.
people had like I think it was a bachelor party, and they made T-shirts with my face on it, and then put like the fake cigarette in my mouth.
Yeah.
Like smoking Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
And then they sent me one. I still have it.
You have that?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
it's a pretty unique experience.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's very, very
Griff
good.
was actually more pumped about that. Although I told him he could have some chorizo.
He can have some. Yeah. There you go. Have him be like in Succession when he has the grandson try it first. You eat it first.
Yeah, well,
Here, Griff.
the king had a taster, an official
That's right.
taster.
He'd be your official taster.
And it wasn't
Griff
so
and
much.
Uno can be the official tasters.
It wasn't
to make sure
so
that
much
you're not
to
being
make sure the
poisoned.
food tasted good. It was to make
More
sure
so the
it
other
did not kill you.
Yeah. All right. We'll attempt to guess the spread. Coming up next, you're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. What a medical mistake caused your injury? Call the medical malpractice attorneys at 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Elk & Elk's a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns as we attempt to guess the spread heading into Week 12 of the NFL
Let's go, baby.
season.
7-4.
7-4.
Well, he's going to start off 3-0 because he's going to tell you that he didn't remember yesterday. But
we'll see.
I don't.
There it is.
Right,
That's an O for right off the get-go.
Did you miss?
Yep.
I did exactly what I meant to do.
You meant to miss.
By the way,
out of spite.
I've decided. Yeah, that's right. For him, I've decided that I often am in a Lulu sweat pant.
Yeah.
A jogger pant.
Yep.
And a Browns hoodie or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. All I did today was put on like a Lulu normal pant.
Yep.
Quarter zip.
Yep.
Wear that
you
all
look
the time.
great.
Throw a vest over it. People are acting like.
Why are you so dressed up?
Yeah, like I've had
Where are
a
you going?
professional
You going
stylist.
somewhere?
No, like they're just like, oh, you look so great today. Like
the standard for dress up now is so low.
This is dress.
This is formal. That's formal. That's formal.
This feels like I
it's
can go
funny
to a
when I
black
saw
tie.
you sitting there in that. I'm like, you going to dinner right afterwards or whatever? And like 15 years ago, 10 years ago even, I would have. That's very casual appearance.
Oh no, yeah. In fact, I am. This is why I'm wearing. I am going.
You're going to a nice.
From here, I got to go meet up with the Miz, and then
Yeah.
we're going to a dinner in Sugar and Falls.
So there you go. So that is the reason that this is the outfit.
Yeah.
That's like. I
There
like
it is.
I like it. All right, let's do it. We're starting tomorrow, Thanksgiving, 12:30. Packers at Lions.
Lions -7.
Should I make you get these exact?
I feel like
I think I'm going to
yes.
make you get these exact. These
Okay,
three
fine.
you have to get exact.
I'm going to get 2. I'm going to go 2 and 1. Because I remember 2 of them, and I don't remember 1 being full. And
See, so you do remember.
So
I think I remember Niners would
So
be Niners -6.5.
So incorrect on
Okay.
Packers and Lions. It was 7.5.
Well, don't make me get it exact. See, so then I really didn't remember.
No, I said I'm going to make you get
We're going to
these
make
three
you get the first
exact.
3 exact.
He goes like
Exact
this.
or box, you're a
Hold
winner.
on. Question.
Answer.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure yesterday it was 7.
Well, I don't know
because
about
I said that.
I
That
don't
one
know.
I felt 100% on. That one and the Seattle was 6.5 yesterday. That
Hold
I
on,
feel
I'm
100%.
looking.
How well do you remember?
Those are 100%. The one that I don't remember
All right, I'm gonna
is
give you that
Dallas.
win. Next, Commies at Cowboys. Commies.
This
at
is-
Cowboys.
Wait, did you give him credit for the first one?
I'm going to give him
I
that one.
don't
That's
remember
garbage.
this one exactly, but I have a vague notion 11.5.
Incorrect.
See? Didn't remember that one.
It is 12.5. Funny thing is, I this morning and it was 11.
So, and I would say this on the
So, by the way,
on the
knowing-
one site we use, it's 12 because that's on the final page.
Incorrect.
You're incorrect.
12.5.
You had 11.5.
By the
You're
way,
off.
I'm actually
11.5
been
would have
done.
been a win at 12 though.
I've been done a disservice by seeing these yesterday. They've clearly changed.
Yeah.
So like
49.
That's
So
actually
you clearly can't choose the wine in front of you.
it's actually knowledge,
Thoughts and
not
prayers.
power.
49ers.
This
Seahawks.
without any hesitation.
At
This
Seattle.
yesterday
Yep.
was Niners -6.5.
Are you staying there?
I'm staying there. That's what it was.
Incorrect. San Francisco -7.5. So a major shocker. You went 1 for 2 on the ones you saw.
Because I saw them yesterday, and I'm doing I'm being penalized for knowing. This is outrageous.
It's like
Hate
a
to
kid,
see it.
This is like a kid who cheats on a test, and then they change the questions. You're like, wait a second. I saw the test. These were the answers. Well, yeah, but we changed the test. But that's not fair. I'm being penalized because I memorized the test.
It's
You
like
took
Roddy
one.
Piper.
You took one question and moved everything up,
Just
so
like
they got
Roddy
everything
Piper.
wrong.
When they have the answers, I change the questions.
Pedro?
No, Roddy Piper.
But amazing if it was Pedro. If he had that
He did not have that.
as a headmaster.
No. By the way,
All right, Friday.
I almost feel like we should throw these.
Okay,
out.
so you're 1 and 2.
feel like we
All
should
right,
throw
you
them
got
out.
some
Well,
work to do.
now you'll go with your pure skill here.
Yeah.
There's no cheating here. This will be pure skill. Dolphins.
No cheating.
Dolphins.
Was a
It didn't
hindrance.
work. It didn't work. That's
It
what
was
I'm
a
saying. Your
hindrance.
pure skill.
Yeah.
Dolphins at Jets. They
Dol-
paid $100 million for this game. Did you see that?
Yeah, sad for
Amazon
them.
Prime paid $100 million to air.
I'm
going to
say this. I almost wish we were playing on this because then you're off Saturday and Sunday. The game, watching, living my
I'm
best
not
life
seeking
on
this out.
Saturday.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not seeking this out Friday afternoon.
Dolphins minus 13.5.
Well, I like where this is trending already.
Dolphins minus 9.5.
Dang it.
There we go.
That one went down from this morning, by the way. These are moving a lot. There's a lot of people active today. So even in hours.
Too much
we're talking about
variance.
4 hours, they've moved a lot.
I think I should
All
get a
right, we're on to
1-point
Sunday.
spread.
We're on
No,
to
you
Sunday.
get a half.
Steelers at Bengals. Steelers at Bengals. Jake Browning's first start. What does Cincinnati even want? Do they want to win or do they want to? I would think you'd want to go the other way and pick like 7th.
Steelers minus 1.5.
Got it. Us.
What was it?
It was
1.5.
It was 1 this morning. Now it's
Yeah.
1.5.
Okay.
Browns, Broncos. Browns at Broncos. This one moved 1.5 in 4 hours. There's your hint. My gift to you. My gift to you. My gift.
Denver minus 1.5.
Got it. -1. You're welcome. It was Denver 2.5 this morning.
What is going on?
I don't know. I think I have it. I think there's so much being
We need
wagered
some stability in the
because
lines.
everyone's off today.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make hanging out with their family more palpable.
Yep.
And so they're betting like crazy on all these games.
On the
That's
games.
what I think's what's happening today.
I like it. I like what you're saying.
That's my theory. Saints at Falcons. Saints at Falcons.
Gross is what that is.
That's bad. Not great. Not great.
If I was making the line, I'd have the Saints favored because I hate the Falcons, but I just don't think that's what it's going to be. I got Falcons minus 1.5.
Got it. Falcons -1. Panthers.
Why are you looking at me?
By the way,
Panthers.
and the ones that I cheated on, 1 and 2. No cheat?
There's a
3 and
lesson
1.
here. There's a lesson here. You don't need to cheat.
Exactly.
Your natural skill.
Thank you. So
your
when you guys
natural
accuse
skills,
me of cheating,
right,
it was
but
hurtful.
Yeah, but you
that
went
was-
1 and 2 in the
that
cheat
was,
ones.
That was God punishing you for cheating.
How
Your
could it
natural
possibly
skill
What'd I
allows
do?
for your victories.
How could it possibly be cheating when yesterday I said, "Hey guys, I actually just saw these lines."
Right. That's true. All right, here you go. What are we at here? We're on Titans and Panthers. Panthers at Titans. Grossness.
There are some gross games.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Titans are going to be favored. Titans -3.
Yep, Titans -3.5. The hook on that even is the tricky part, I think.
Yep.
Buccaneers at Colts. Bucks at Colts. Crazy week over there. Did you see?
I'm
your
still
boy,
trying to figure out the whole Shaq Leonard thing. Like, you're 5 and 5. You're
dropped him.
right there.
Well, he said that
Ronnie
the coach-
Harrison's a linebacker.
Yeah, over there.
They added him to this roster as a linebacker. He's wearing like number 40.
Well, he can do that.
He's a big guy.
He had a good start for us. I mean, he was,
he was very
awesome
good
that
for a
very,
while.
that first year. Yeah, interesting week. Colt Jim Irsay on Real Sports, victimized.
Oh my God.
That's not great. And then you've got the Leonard stuff, so that's happening too.
I don't know about the Real Sports stuff.
Oh, you should go look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colts
Mm-hmm.
-2.
God, very good. Colts -2.5. You're going to get a dub here. 6-3. Patriots at Giants.
Really feels like
Patriots.
5-1,
God,
being honest.
Giants.
this gets worse as you go through
No, I'm
this.
telling you, it's bad ball. There's a lot of bad ball in this league.
Bailey
You guys mocked me a
Zappi,
month ago when I said that. It's the real
Bailey Zappi, Tom DeVito.
truth. Bailey Zappi and Tommy DeVito. Like, if that were a college football game, it wouldn't be on the Big Ten Network.
No.
I think the Patriots play on Christmas Eve, don't they?
Gross.
I like
Well,
Sunday
we
Night
do.
Football is like Patriots and
Mac
someone
Jones'
awful.
line on the year, 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 10 picks. Just,
Great backup.
oh, mess.
I mean, I have
Patriots
no
at
idea.
Giants.
Patriots -2.5.
Got it. Patriots -3. I don't know how they're favored over anybody, by the way.
Nope.
Me neither.
It's Bill Belichick.
They love them, though. Jaguars
By
at
the way, how about a little something for what's going on right now?
You almost
Yeah,
clinched
we're
it.
not
You've
there
almost
yet.
clinched it. Jaguars at Texans. Jaguars at Texans. It's a good one. This is a fun early window.
Jags -2.5.
Got it. Jags -2. Good job out of you.
Thank you.
Rams at Cardinals.
I do have it now. That's
just that's clinched it. Just ram it at Cardinals.
The Rams actually ended up as 2.5-point favorites over Seattle last week.
Yep.
So they'll be favored again. I think I'm living in that Vegas zone again. I'm going to go Rams -2.
Arizona -1. Chiefs at Raiders. Chiefs at Raiders.
Chiefs -7.5.
Chiefs -8.5.
Doesn't matter how he clinched it.
Bills at Eagles. Bills at Eagles.
Eagles -3.5.
Got it exactly. I'm surprised that's not higher. I'm a little surprised that's not higher. I'm surprised that's not like 4.5, 5, something like that.
That's a lot of respect to Buffalo.
A lot.
I was debating going to 4, but I was like, if it happens to just throw on 3, I don't want to miss that. So I did 3.5. It got me 4 or 3. That's what I felt like it was.
I thought to me that's too low. Ravens at Chargers. Ravens at Chargers.
Ravens -3.5.
Exactly. Got it. Good job out of you. 10-5 on the week. Let's finish out in style. Bears at Vikings.
So there are no buys this week.
No,
everybody plays
holiday.
Thanksgiving
Well,
weekend.
because you got all the
And
3
next week
Thursdays
there's
and
like
a Friday
6
and
teams off.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
Okay. What is it?
Bears Vikings.
That's Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Bears Vikings.
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
Minnesota. The blueprint for the stadium build.
Vikings -4.
Got it. Vikings -3.5. 11-5 out of you. Good job. Very good job out of you. Dorian Thompson-Robinson coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
What?
All right, welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. Let's head to the podium. Starting quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Went over the film and everything.
You guys are done.
What was on second glance kind of your takeaways from your performance, especially there in the second half?
I mean, obviously you're gonna have things every week you need to clean up. I think the biggest thing is as an offense, we played on time, try to negate their rushes as much as possible. I think TJ only had one sack, he had a couple QB hits on me, but other than that, I think we played on time, both in the pass game and in the run game. Stuck with it. At times it's not going to be easy, especially going against a defense like that. So second half, getting a couple 3-and-outs. We're working to fix those this week, but ultimately I was happy with the game.
So. Dorian, I'm guessing you watched Joe Flacco growing up. What's
yeah,
it like
I did.
Now to have him in the room with you and as a sounding board and somebody else that you can talk to?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Anytime you can add experience, which is something as a rookie you need, it's a great thing. So him, PJ, AVP, Ashton, everybody in the quarterback room, they're helping me out a ton. He just got here. He's still learning way around the city, so I'm trying to help him out with that. But he's definitely helping me out on the football side of things for sure.
So what do you have to do, Dorian, to keep the momentum but maybe improve on your own game?
Yeah, man. I think it's just, looking back at what I did last Sunday, just like how I did week 4 is what I did good and then what I need to correct. And going out here on practice on Wednesday and going out there and correcting it. So I don't think there's any secret formula. Just going out there, putting the work in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then going out there and making sure you're locked in on Sunday. So.
What have they shared with you in terms of, Joe's role as he comes in here? And, I'm sure his presence is a comfort to you, but you're also trying to make sure that you're not, looking over your shoulder in any way?
As a competitor, I always want to get pushed by guys, so it doesn't really matter to me. They haven't let me know anything besides just get ready for this week and make sure you're the best prepared this week. So that's what I come in here to do on a week-to-week basis, and I plan to do that today. So.
How long did it take you to come down from that game?
Shoot, maybe 20 minutes after the game. My family was singing happy birthday to me in the family and friends section. So I got to kind of just more so focus on my birthday as a gift and more so the game. So.
What are you working on? What part of your game are you spending the most time trying to own right now?
Yeah, I think just getting more and more comfortable with the game. It's a different style of playing in the NFL from college. So I think if I can just keep progressing with how I'm working with the offense, my reads, my timing with the receivers and running backs and tight ends, I think I'll be all right. But just working on whatever AVP or Coach Stefanski or Aston has for me out there at practice today. So.
Saw the video of you on the sideline, kind of crouched down and real emotional. I guess, where do you think that emotion came from?
Yeah, man, the work I put in Monday through Sunday, or Monday through Saturday, and really since I've gotten here, think about all those times in Greenbrier, I wasn't getting any reps. You guys were all noticing me in the back, taking all those reps. Those reps have now helped me come this past Sunday and as well as the rest of the Sundays moving forward and being able to even put me in this position. So just realizing how far I've come and also, where I'm trying to be at, but just trying to appreciate the moment. I had talked to my mentor the day before, and just being able to take it all in is one of his biggest points, and so I think that's where all that emotion came from.
You used your legs the other day. Do you feel comfortable using that more in your mobility, getting out and making things happen?
Yeah, my job as quarterback is to get first downs and touchdowns. I know I have some pretty good legs under myself, so if I can be able to use those to get some first downs, keep the defense, like I said, on their toes, that's probably one of the worst things as a D coordinator when you got to go against a running quarterback and man coverage. So as much as I can try and help the team win, I'm going to do it. So.
Dorian, after the game, David was really critical of himself with the drop passes, but he made a huge catch on that final drive. But just what does that mean to you that one of your teammates holds himself accountable, and right after the game he runs home and he's calling coach on the jugs machine, working on his fundamentals?
Yeah, no, Dave, he called me too. He apologized. I'm like, brother, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to come back to you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the days of practice. So Dave's going to have a hell of a week this week. He's going to make a lot of catches this Sunday, and I'm excited for it. So
It's going to be super cold in Denver. Are you bringing the big puffy black jacket?
I can't give the swag away just yet, but I'll definitely be nice and cozy before the game for sure.
What shoes are you wearing the game?
Oh, here we go. We got a new guy on staff, huh? I don't know yet, man. I don't know yet. I don't pick my outfits out too early in advance.
Russell Wilson, what's it like for you to go up against Russell Wilson? I'm sure you would probably, maybe idolize idolized him over the years. What are your thoughts on being on the same field with Russell?
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to lose fingers on how many guys I can count that I now have met prior to playing them, and now I get to play them. So you can add Russell to that list. He's been down to UCLA plenty of times. I was coached by one of his college coaches, Dana Bible, my first couple years in college. So I actually got to meet with him, do some Zoom meetings with him during COVID and stuff like that. So me and Russ have a pretty good relationship. But again, just another great opportunity. I'm so happy I get to go out there and play this week, play with my guys, get to do the same thing we did last week and just go out there and have a ball. So.
Before Sunday's game, a lot of your teammates were saying that you were showing them that leadership that you wanted to exude, and you were even correcting them on some plays. You saw them out there on Sunday. You kind of got Kareem Hunt back in the mix on that final drive. How important has it been for you to focus on the mental part of the game, knowing, especially in those last 2 minutes, and where do you think you've grown in that area?
I mean, yeah, I think I said it on Sunday. This is a responsibility. This isn't just I get to be the starting quarterback and everybody loves me and all this other stuff. So I got to come in. I got to work at it every day. The amount of detail and focus that needs to be able to be successful at this position, it's strenuous, it's tough, and all those things that you see on Sunday is because of the work that's put in throughout the week. So, I think I'm in a good spot. Definitely want to improve and making sure that I'm even better than last Sunday. But yeah, man, that's kind of what I look forward to when you're in those close, tight games, close, tight situations. You can be able to lock in, focus. That's when you're at your best and you make plays. So.
I'm sure the Steelers pass rush had plenty to do with it, but there's a bunch of short passes last week. Do you feel like the more you get comfortable, the more starts you have, that will expand and you'll be able to push it down the field more?
I mean, shoot, I hope so. But no, that's not in my control. I hope we can shoot as many passes as we can, as well as get the run game and Kareem and Jerome involved. But if I can throw a bubble for 5 yards and he takes it the distance, I don't think anybody would be mad at that. So, I'm here to control the game plan and making sure that I'm doing everything that Coach Stefanski wants. So.
Dorian, I know that this isn't in your control, but if you look at the top half of the league, pretty much every team in the top half of the league, other than the Browns, has their opening day starting quarterback, right? And your frame of reference is just here. You haven't played elsewhere professionally. But what is it about this room, this team, that has allowed for the fluidity at quarterback to not disrupt the success of the team?
Yeah, you take back to Greenbrier. I wish you guys were there to really see the meetings and the insides and outs of what we were doing there. But I think we got really close throughout that whole time. We were those 8 days. And it's really shown now from the moments where you see guys pushing the pile to the defense always celebrate with each other after a play. I think that's kind of what it is. You just come closer as a team when moments get hard. And luckily we've been on the winning side of all those. So. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's just a really close team.
Do you have hope that this upcoming trip and staying out in LA can be similar to what you just talked about?
For sure. I mean, every week we're trying to go 1-0, and so we're focused on the Broncos this week and making sure that this is the best week of practice we've had this year, because all the weeks before it have been the best weeks up to that point. So we can keep climbing, keep staying on the path we're on. I think we'll be all right come towards the end of the year.
So. You talking about that bonding.
Oh, yeah.
Can this trip be, do you have hope that it can have a similar?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know guys aren't really looking forward to staying in a hotel for a week again, but no, I think it would be really cool, really fun. Again, just getting everybody close in one space at one time, especially for a longer period of time, I think would be really healthy for the team. I played down in Boulder, playing UC, so I've played down there plenty of times. But, I think just getting in the altitude room, getting some extra conditioning after practice, just kind of taking it upon yourself to make sure that you're in shape. So.
You got a lot going on this week. Would it be allowed yourself to think about being in Westwood next week as a starting quarterback?
Oh, no. I don't think my teammates or any of my coaches will let me think that far ahead. So, but no, I know it's going to be a great time. I'm going to be able to see a bunch of people I know already, have obviously a bunch of familiarity being around UCLA and getting to use that practice facility and all the things that they have there. So, no, I'm super excited.
We've heard a lot about these 2-minute things, like practice periods you guys do every week. How much time do you spend on that, and how competitive are those periods?
Yeah, the 2-minute is everything. I've been working that with Coach Kelly since my freshman year of college. So the 2-minute thing, that comes with ease to me now. It was funny, I was texting with Coach Kelly after the game about how we only had 1:18 left, and that felt like 5 minutes of the game. So, no, I'm super grateful for him, and as well as Coach Fancy. We work it here too. So it's such a big moment in the game. For us to be able to come out on top, I think it shows what all the work we've done.
How much do you guys emphasize that they like getting that ball spotted with Ethan and like you?
Oh yeah,
you know,
everything.
Kareem,
Yeah, there's so much that goes into a 2-minute that people really don't realize. Whether you're outside the hash catching the ball and you need to get to the sideline, or you're inside the numbers, you need to hand it to the ref and stuff like that, or making sure that the ball actually gets to the ref. You don't want to drop it or anything. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it for sure.
Did Chip reach out to you?
Yeah. He reached out to me just saying good luck this week. Obviously, I say good luck with them playing SC, and then they handle business. So, and then we talked a little bit after the game.
Just a couple more. Will you have him, or maybe Kevin has already done this, but will you guys have some encounter with Chip? Will he talk to the team? And what other plans do you have as sort of the host for the week?
Oh man, that's a big responsibility right there, being the host in LA. But no, I don't know. I don't know what Coach Kelly has planned when we're down there. I know they'll have just finished up their regular season, so they'll be getting ready for bowl prep. I'm sure they'll be on break for that first week and stuff with finals. So I hope I get to see everybody. Like I said, they'll be coming off of Cal and getting that win. So I know they'll be in high spirits.
Who's that mentor? Who was that mentor?
Seth Mikowski. He's chess guy. Yeah.
Dorian, I know you said you're embracing having Joe here, but the Browns have just signed a quarterback who won a Super Bowl, who's thrown for 40,000 yards. How do you not let that be kind of a pressure to you or make you look over your shoulder?
Shoot, I mean,
1 minute.
Get inside my body to feel the pressure I felt when they were chanting my name, when I had everybody thinking about this game and the Steelers and how big of that rivalry was. Joe coming in here is more of a blessing than anything. Like I said, I'm asking him a bunch of questions. We were chopping it up a stuff ton this morning. He's in the early meetings with us, with me and PJ now. So it's great, man. He's fit in so well. And like I said, I've only known him for just about a day.
30.
In here, so I love Joe. It's been awesome.
Real quick, that altitude, was that a big deal for your team when you were out there?
No, not really. I mean, shoot, I don't think in college we really had oxygen masks on the sideline, so at least here we have oxygen masks on the sideline for guys to be able to breathe and get air in. But no, it's
10.
I personally, honestly, don't notice it being a quarterback unless I take off and scramble, but I'm sure other guys won't really notice it. We have guys that work hard in the altitude run, so.
Yep.
It's funny, when I would go home after I'd moved to Florida and I would come home for the holidays,
you'd feel it.
It was the elevation that got me.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first pickup basketball game I played.
Yeah.
What is going on? Like just wasn't used to playing at elevation.
Yeah.
That's a real one there. Also available today was Joe Flacco. You obviously heard a lot in DTR's presser about Joe Flacco. He was available. Here is Joe on how he ended up here in Cleveland.
Well, listen, I got a call from my agent, and they asked to come work out, and I said, all right, I'm going to come work out. And they said, all right, this is what we're going to do. And I just kind of nodded my head along the whole way, and next thing you know, I'm here.
There you go. He was one of the things you're always curious about is what's your why. He was asked by the media throng downstairs, what is your desire to still play football?
I mean, to a certain extent, it's all I know. I still have a lot of fun doing it. I do feel like I have stuff left in the tank. So I owe it to myself to continue to push forward and try to play the game that I love. Until I really don't feel like I can do it anymore.
It has been a little minute since he has been it's been a while since he's played 16 games. It goes all the way back to 2017. He's been a spot starter in the league since, and he was asked how much he still has left in the tank.
Well, listen, I think when you start talking about that, you can talk till you're blue in the face and try to promote yourself or not or whatever it is. But, however this ends up playing out, I think you can look back at the way I finished last game of the season last year. Not that, we were able to win that game, but I definitely believe I can still play. And, like I said, I'm focused on the day-to-day, and as long as I can do that, then whatever happens, I think that whatever my role ends up being and wherever this takes me, then I'll do my best at that.
The other part of this is you have a rookie quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson who is really good in the game against Pittsburgh and much better than his stats would lead you to believe when you factor in the drops on that. Flacco was asked how he plans to help DTR stay the course.
I think he's got, I've been there as a rookie, and you got so much going through your head, and you're worrying about little things, and I'm talking about focusing on the daily grind, and I think there's little things throughout the day that he's probably so focused on too, that the rest of it becomes kind of nonsense. And if you're able to just focus on that little thing that you're doing at that time, then that's the best way you can kind of keep focused and keep the task at hand, the most important. And it looks like he's doing that. So
there you go.
And there it is. I like he's brief, concise in his answers. He looks great. I mean, look at him down there. It looks great. I think that he definitely will bring, some more acumen into that room because, we know now Deshaun's rehabbing. So his ability to be in every meeting and all of that is not what it once was. But even when I talked to DTR, I said Deshaun was so helpful to him on the sideline during that game against Pittsburgh Steelers. But you're getting another guy who's a veteran in here. And we said all along, I think everybody wants to see DTR succeed, right? Like everybody wants in this organization. But Joe Flacco gives you somebody that in the event that things do go a little sideways, that you have a kind of an emergency break glass option there, and somebody who's played quite a bit. And we saw, again, we don't like talking about it, but we saw week 2 of last year. He can obviously still throw the ball.
First 2 games last year, the game against Baltimore, he goes 37 of 59, 309, a touchdown and a pick. He went 26 of 44, 307, and 4 touchdowns against us in the game here, which we remember quite well, and played the next week at Cincinnati and went 28 of 50. I mean, God, they had him thrown a lot last year at the beginning. 285 and a couple of picks in that one, and then in the final game of the year at Miami was the game he alluded to, 18 of 33, 149 in that one. So that was the last time out.
Yeah, no, you think about it in the first 3, that's all this division. Baltimore, Browns, Cincy, that's the way their schedule started out. And he went through 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. And
he's averaging like 50 attempts a game in those 3 games.
Almost 300 yards a game,
Yeah. So there it is. He can spin it deep, certainly. All right, we'll hit you with a little higher, lower coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. For a team of injured lawyers dedicated to every client every day, call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Before we get to hello, Gibby. Good
Hi,
to see
guys.
you. Someone was asking me today, this morning, in fact, when you think of Thanksgiving, what's the first, as a kid, what's the first, anytime I see orange boxes walking by, I'm always like,
what's going on?
Can we bring them in
What's
here?
the
If we're
deal?
bringing in the orange boxes, bring it in
Be
here for the
nice.
kids. You know, we're the ones doing
Going to be on my feet a lot next week.
You know, come on, throw us a bone here. They were asking me, what's the first thing, like the question was, don't think, when I say Thanksgiving in your youth, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Go.
Probably like
corn.
Wizard of Oz.
So I said Barry Sanders. They said,
Fair.
Thanksgiving your youth, what do you think of? And I said, first thing that came to my mind was very, like,
Those were three very different answers.
Corn, Wizard of Oz. By the way, you know how I feel about that. That movie sucks.
Agreed.
And
back then, though, like people who might
that
not
was
know,
on.
It was on every Thanksgiving night.
The night before, right? Like leading into it, or was it the
I
night
don't
of?
remember. In my mind, it was the night of.
It was
but I
on
could
one
be
of the
misremembering.
networks for
Yeah.
sure, and it was like, oh, you got to watch this.
Yeah.
Why?
Because there weren't football wasn't there weren't three.
There wasn't
windows.
at night. So you're right. I think it was probably Thanksgiving night.
Yeah, there were only two games. And then, when was The Sound of Music on? Because that was the movie that never ended.
Yeah,
it was
that
like
always
4.5 hours. It
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
been Friday night.
Yeah, that could have been.
Trust me, it was in the house. I was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go hang out.
For me, it was Barry, though. The first thing that came to my head was Barry Sanders. And the more you think about it, growing up where I did, you did not get a chance to watch him play because they weren't good.
No.
So they, except for the 1 year with Wayne Fonts and Eric Kramer, they went to like an NFC Championship game, got drilled by the Cowboys. But they weren't good. So regionally, they were not in our region. You guys probably got to see them a lot because at the time, the CBS package here, did they run? Not that he was watching it opposite Browns. You're not watching
that's
it,
what
but
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only time that you got to see Barry Sanders play was
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
You had the one time to see him play, and it was honestly the only thing that salvaged otherwise brutal football. You're always just waiting until the Cowboys played. When you were our age, you were just waiting for the Cowboys to play in the afternoon because they were the team of record. Them and the 49ers were the teams of records when we were kids. So it was like, well, let's watch Aikman and Irv and Emmett and let's see what they look like. You remember the Leon Lett game and all of those things. But the first thing I thought was Barry. Like, this was before Red Zone, before the ticket, before YouTube, and there was no reference of him. If you didn't watch NFL Primetime, you did not see him do anything.
Yeah, or back when the Monday night halftime was it.
You get like one play.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like to see him play a whole game,
right?
It was just this week.
Yeah.
That's it.
And honestly, I don't know how often it was on here because you were focused on what the brown and orange were doing.
But on Thursday they would have been
on
like
Thursday,
on Thanksgiving.
100%.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's a
just
good point.
In general, I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know if I could tell you.
And I don't know if the NFL broadcast rules were different there. Like if there was a Browns game on, if the Browns played at home in this town, could you run the NFL opposite that? I don't know if you could.
I don't
Probably
think
not.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, that was also the time it was like, there's 10,000 tickets left. Like, we got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like, the team would buy them and give them to organizations so
Sure.
we wouldn't have a blackout.
Right. Yeah. He is, but that is it. And so then the other part of that question is if you could add one sporting event to Thanksgiving other than what's there, what would you choose? And the guy said, for example, I would do a Live Golf versus PGA Golf Ryder Cup starting at like 9 a.m. into 1 o'clock. And he would do it at Augusta. And I said, I don't think you want to do Augusta this time of year. You'd probably want someplace a little bit warmer, Seminole or something like that. But the one which got me thinking, I am surprised that since we've had this expanded, like everybody looking for live sports, I'm surprised there's not a great college football game on at noon. Like Ole Miss plays Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl at night, which is awesome. I love the Egg Bowl. That goes at night. But I'm surprised they haven't put one on at noon. And it wouldn't be this notion of like, well, nobody wants to compete with the NFL. Well, you're not worried about that audience, but you could get 4 million people watching
What
Iowa
else are you
play
putting on
Wisconsin.
ESPN at that time?
Right. Like I'm just surprised that a big college football rivalry, not Ohio State, Michigan or the Iron Bowl, but like a secondary rivalry, Oklahoma State, or maybe they'll do it with Texas and Texas A&M when they both go to the SEC, play that game at noon on Thanksgiving. Feels like there's an opportunity there.
I'd be into that. I
everyone's
like
too
I
screened
like a
anyway.
few options. I think it's always interesting that college basketball has this big week this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's like, we're just off then.
They just shut it down.
Like
yeah.
what? How about you play on Thursday?
Yeah.
If you're in Maui, what else you doing?
Play the championship.
Go
game.
play.
Yeah. Was that last night? Was that Kansas and Marquette last night?
I believe
in Maui?
so.
Yeah.
Semifinal. There you go. Who's in the
Finals today?
Marquette and Purdue.
Marquette and Purdue.
Kansas. It was supposed to set
Boiler
up for
up.
Kansas and Purdue, but Kansas got by Marquette last night, who's fourth. But Barry is the answer, and we've watched a lot of bad ball.
Barry's a good answer, and I just thought John Madden and the turducken.
Yeah, the
and all that.
turducken.
Yeah,
for sure. But that was always synonymous with Nate Newton.
Yeah.
He liked Nate Newton eating a turducken was the apex of the Madden experience
Yes.
on Thanksgiving, for sure. So it also got me thinking, and my guess is our two young fine interns in there, young Griff and the great Uno, they have no point of reference on the Cowboys being great.
Like great.
Great.
Yeah, sure, but like with Romo and
They're
Dez,
entertained,
people
but they
know
were
them.
never
Yeah,
a serious team. They were never a team to go win the Super Bowl.
Exactly. They
They've
had
not
Romo.
been.
If they
That's
called
why.
that a catch.
But
team
that
might
wasn't
have
an
won a
NFC
Super Bowl.
championship.
It was the week
It was
before.
the week before. So they never even got to that. They were never a team that I thought was going to be better than the Colts or the Patriots or whoever's going to come out of the AFC, even if they lucked through. So there's not even a point of reference on Aikman, Emmett, and Irv.
Sure.
If you're under 40, there's really no memory of that. All right. Higher, lower, Gibby?
Higher, lower, Connor Orr and Sports Illustrated. It's presented by Keep It Fun Ohio.
Are we 32nd?
From the Ohio Lottery,
Yes.
who reminds you to set
We might
time
be.
and
He can't
spending
say
limits when gambling. Good question. Good follow-up. We'll kick things off with the Cleveland Browns in at numero cinco.
you
Number 5, everybody.
Higher or lower?
Just in front of them, the Detroit Lions. Just behind them, the Dallas Cowboys. Zagura, are they number 32? They're number 5. Higher, lower, or just right?
I have a feeling that had we demolished the Steelers 40-10 and our former quarterback was still our current quarterback, we might be 32nd on his rankings. But because he's not, 5th, I love it. Do I think we would be favored over the Dallas Cowboys on a neutral field? Not a chance. Cue up Vince McMahon's music. No, I don't. So I do think we're a top 10 team, but we've got to prove a little bit more on offense, I think, before we're top 5.
Bishop?
So the last couple of weeks, last week with Deshaun on these, we were like 8 or 9. And now without him, we're 5.
That's my hope. That's the point.
That
yes.
doesn't make any damn sense. So
it does.
It does, but it shouldn't.
Correct.
Okay? So
we're not better without him.
No. And we beat. Listen, that was one of the most fun sporting events I've ever been a part of for about a billion reasons. It was a very special
Very
Sunday.
special.
That Pittsburgh team is bad offensively. So the notion that we would for sure not be favored over Dallas. I don't know if we'd be favored over Buffalo, who is sitting at 10 on this list. The people in the desert love the Bills. Not saying we couldn't beat them. I think we'd take the ball from Josh Allen a little bit, but it's a little too high. It's too reactionary based on 1 week and based on what is happening with our roster.
Next.
Higher or lower?
The Eagles are number 1 after their big win on Monday night. The 49ers are number 2 at 7-3. Rounding out the top 5, Kansas City at 3, Detroit at 4, and your Brownies at number 5. But the 49ers, Bo Bishop, higher, lower, or just right?
Well, I mean, what did they do in the bye week other than acquire Chase Young? Just get healthy?
Got a little healthier. Debo came back. Got a little healthier.
Yeah, Debo
I mean, they would be. I would bet you that. I'd be very curious on a neutral what they would be against the Eagles as they are playing right now. Probably slight dogs, maybe a point and a half. Vegas
maybe.
loves the 49ers, loves them. They have
they're good.
huge numbers, and they buried the last 2 weeks. But they had weird losses leading into the bye. So, but since the bye, they've been great. Philly first is fine. Niners second. I don't have a problem with it. I think they are definitely number 2, though, based on how they're playing right now.
Zagura?
Yeah, I love nerd. Yeah, Niners are legit. No problem with it. I think that's Jade McRae going, sweet spot.
That's right. Yep.
That's right.
Next.
Higher or lower?
Uno can get that on the air. Whichever one of you two can get that stuff on the air, Griff Uno, That'll be a pretty nice. That'd look pretty good.
Are they going to Los Angeles?
That'd look
Are
pretty.
both of them going to L.A.?
No, they're holding down the fort with you here.
They're both here. Well, we'll see how much I'm here, but they'll be here. So they will have an opportunity then next week to do that. Because while the Gibby is away,
and to quote the
boys
there's
play.
a good chance like Zagura might have to be solo at times because we've got availability going on.
The more that, the better. A lot of
great
that.
Judge Smales, that would look pretty good on a young caddy's application.
I like it.
Up next, guys, the Cowboys are 6, the Ratbirds 7, Dolphins 8, Jags 9, and number 10, the Buffalo Bills. Zagura, higher, lower, just right for the Buffalo Bills.
Who was 9, Gibby?
Number 9, Jacksonville.
Okay.
Dolphins were 8. Zagura.
The Bills beat the Jags. I think the Bills are still a pretty darn good, complete football team. Or the Bills beat the Dolphins, I should say. I don't know. I feel like it's fine right here, but if they do this week, if they look good this week or go into Philadelphia and win this week, then they're going to go right back in the top 5 because they've got all the things. They just haven't been able to put it together so far this year, and turnovers have killed them.
Isn't the stat out there that since coming into the NFL, Josh Allen leads the NFL in turnovers?
That's right.
That's something.
I think it's interceptions and turnovers total.
Total turnovers, yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems impossible to me.
Yeah.
For as good a player he is and a guy who finished second in the MVP. Where I am with this right now, so I would put us in this group with us, Miami, Jacksonville, Buffalo, and honestly, we're probably on the outside of that group just because of how unproven we are. We just need to see more out of DTR.
Yep.
But I think there should be a line right after Baltimore, and then this is prove-it territory. And Buffalo needs to stack a little bit.
Yep.
The inconsistency just is wild with them.
Here's the thing to me, though. Then we go, are you getting to the –
That's hard. I think this is – I just think we're too high right now.
Yes.
And then the rest of this is just kind of –
he has the Steelers at 11
That's
ahead
where I
of
was
the
going
Texans
next.
who boat raced him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just stupid. Who's 12?
Texans.
So Steelers are 11, the Texans are 12, and the Texans beat them head-to-head. And the
Smoked
Texans
them,
can throw
slumped
the
them.
ball down the field
Yes.
often.
The
against
Steelers
anybody.
aren't bad.
They're a bad offensive unit.
They got so lucky now that they're going to go to Cincinnati and probably –
Oh, my God. They get no Burrow in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Well, they didn't beat us.
Well, they don't have our defense.
No, they did not.
Next.
Higher or lower?
Where do I want to go here? He's got the Bengals at 16. Higher, lower, just right for the Bengals. The Vikings are 15, by the way.
The Cincinnati Bengals are not better than the Cardinals right now. With Kyler Murray, I would take the Cardinals over the Bengals.
Yep.
I have no idea if Jake Browning can throw the ball or not. He was good at Washington, but that's been a while. No clue what to expect out of that.
Arizona 28th.
And they are riddled with injury. It's not just franchise quarterback. Like, T. Higgins hasn't played all year. They got injuries at both defensive ends with Hubbard and Hendrickson. Like, they got big problems. The idea that the Bengals are sitting at 16 with that situation,
yeah,
come on,
The
man.
Bengals and Cardinals should probably be flipped.
I mean,
the
there's
Bengals
several-
should be 28th.
Yeah,
without a quarterback. They're 4-19 without
I just
Burrow.
think when you do something like this, you have to be aware of what the team is at the moment.
Arizona should be so far up this list. It's not even funny.
There's
Jets, Titans, Commanders.
Come on. I'll tell you, no one's going to want to play Arizona now with Kyler.
No, it's a full day.
Yeah.
So the back half of this, real quick. Titans are 26th. Commies 27. Cardinals 28. G-Men 29. I think that's too high. The Patriots are 30. The Bears 31. I don't know what his hang-up
Bears
is
are
with
better
them.
than 31.
And the Panthers are 32.
They just played
Well, it's
Detroit
just
well.
like, the Panthers only have one loss. I'm going
You
to
have
put
to
them
think
last.
about who they are now, and you have to think about the Bears now with a healthy Fields. And he played really well last week. He had 100 yards rushing with, I think, 16 to 23 passes.
That whole staff's coaching
Very
for their
efficient.
lives. They're going to pull out all the stops here.
Their defense is good. They really could have got Detroit. Yeah, I don't know. And then the Giants just whipped the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commies. There's a lot of bad football. That's the reality.
bottom
There's a
of this
lot of
league.
bad football teams right now. There's a lot of guys playing quarterback that have no business playing in this league at the position.
Yep.
That's the reality of it. It's pretty bad.
Agreed.
I want to say we're at
That's
10 or
laughable that we're
12
up
teams with
4
losing
spots.
records in the National Football League.
Dude.
Come on. I know, but come on. It's so transparent. We still have some scores to get to. We've got three big games tomorrow on Thursday Night Football. I'll get you the officially endorsed, too, because this is the first Friday. So this is the one where you get to marinate for a month on this one. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, get into Cleveland Browns Stadium quicker on game day with Express Access presented by Verizon. Enroll for free today and enter through exclusive lanes at each gate. Go to the ticket tab in the Browns mobile app to learn more. We've got 3 games tomorrow, boys.
Triple header Turkey Day. I'd rather can I propose this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can the Cowboys just play at 1:00? Can we flip the
them?
Yeah.
No,
No,
because
it's Lions.
It's always Cowboy because it's the box office. Dallas's box office.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not.
I just want them flipped.
Yeah, well, these are not. This is not great. I mean,
none of these. Not even the Niners Seattle because I don't know what's
look at
happening
the lines
with
on
Geno.
these, man.
Huh?
Look at the numbers. Look at the scores on these.
Yeah. We'll start it off in the NFC Norris division. The Packers 4-6. Visiting the 8-2 Detroit Lions. Zagura.
Feels weird not having the music.
Yeah, Carmen, if you got any music, go ahead.
Get some
Carmen's
Carmen's pulling like triple duty this week
he's
because
got there's a lot
everybody at
going on.
850's off.
That's fine.
It's
no,
good,
not
though.
crushing. Nailed it. Good job.
There we go.
Now we're into
Perfect.
the scores.
Now we're talking.
Is this me or you?
Wait,
Me.
do we last week, by the way?
Yeah,
we did well.
Last week, Bo 8-6, me 7-7. Bo now 47 games over 500, me 45. So combined 92.
Isn't someone going to Denver on us this week?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. It is crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone's going to Denver.
They did like Christmas and they're going to Denver on scores. You're welcome.
It would only be crazy if it didn't happen
all the time, every year.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Is this 7 years of this? Where
Basically.
We've done this?
Basically.
Is this our 7th year, 7th football season?
No.
18,
fifth.
19, 21, 22,
Fifth.
23. Yeah, fifth.
Fifth or sixth.
Feels like 7.
Something like
I
that.
was going to say, that's hilarious. All right, here we go.
Is this me or you?
This is
Who's
me.
going? You?
Yep, me. I'm looking for it. There we go. I'm kind of impressed with Jordan Love.
It's been good the last couple weeks.
I think that the Lions win this one easily.
Same. Just stop. Same.
But not that easy.
Not that easy.
Not that easy. Detroit 30. Green Bay 27.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
27-21, 28-21, all of that wins.
All of it wins.
Yeah.
All of
Detroit
it's
wins.
winning. Yep.
Closer than the experts think.
To the NFC Eastern Division. And the 4-15, 4-30. I also don't like how there's it doesn't go right into the next game.
Yeah, right. Like just
there's
go.
a 40-minute thing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need I don't need
Let's
all
go.
the fluff. Let's go. Get into the game. Washington. Commies are 4-7, visiting Big D. Dallas is 7-3, Bishop.
Look, Dallas is going to win huge in this game. Huge. And then
Yeah, right. I agree.
Sam's at the back door, baby. I mean, this thing, you think about this. This could be 35-21. And you get a little
Garbage is
nonsense.
nothing.
It could be 35-17.
McCarthy forgets he's coaching
35-17.
and gives
Let's
him a
just
whole
get
series off.
Sammy's in there. I got to lead the NFL in passing yardage. Here's a garbage. It ends up 35-24.
Couldn't agree anymore. I mean, that's it. Because it's Thanksgiving, once they get up and the game is put away, they're not going to care. Yeah, they're not trying to slump.
Chips in. Yeah.
To the nightcap we go. Pedro going to be tailgating all day on Thanksgiving. 49ers visiting the great Northwest and the Seattle Seahawks.
Is this like a 4:00 game for Pedro out there?
Yeah. So great.
Just
How
right
great
in his
would that
wheelhouse.
be?
Like that's the best. You guys are gonna get that for 9 days. Like how good it is to wake up.
It's the best.
Football.
They're gonna have 9 o'clock Lions.
It's unbelievable.
Packers.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. You have it
1
all-
o'clock,
and by the way,
Cowboys.
it's all done and it's like no big deal. 7:30.
Yeah. What do you want to do the rest of the night? Zagura.
Nate, I'm thankful for Brock Purdy. He was pretty good last week, Nate, just like my spumoni and all of my coffee.
My dad's got a little southern, apparently.
He does.
Nate.
Foghorn Leghorn all of a sudden.
I say, Nate.
I love that guy.
He's great.
So great.
The Niners are going to kill the Seahawks.
Same.
Ram it.
Same.
So this isn't a Thursday
Well,
normal
no, because we have
Thursday.
3. It's the holiday.
No, these are all real. This is all
real.
straightforward. This is not
is
Thursday night.
It's
No.
not Thursday
Well,
night.
All of
they're
it's
all
straightforward.
It's a good job out of you for
clarifying.
reminding the
Yep.
audience.
No
this
oppos.
isn't do the opposite.
This
Correct.
is real.
This is this
Green
is real.
Bay, Washington.
Because we're
Niners.
calling it on a first Friday. We're not
Right.
calling it on a
That's right.
Thursday. It's
That's right.
Thanksgiving.
It's different.
This is our gift to you. So that's the way that one goes. So much more to come, including your officially endorsed, which is one that is the gift that keeps on giving. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, here you go. This is bourbon
Uno
apple
wants
pie.
to do this.
This is well, you should. This is the
Get
gift.
your pen
Here you
and
go.
pads
Here you go.
ready.
This is bourbon apple pie. Get yourself a bottle of bourbon that you enjoy. One that I really like for this is Woodford, because then it's almost like a chemistry experiment. You can see it play out because it's a clear bottle. There's no wrapping
Agreed.
on it, but there's a lot of good ones out
Larceny, a
there.
nice one.
Larceny's great. There's a lot of whatever you want. It's your world. My friends at Whiskey War do a very good one as well that would work for this. Here's what you do. You take your bottle of bourbon and you pour out 3 or 4 fingers into a glass, and then you're going to enjoy that.
You're gonna
during
enjoy
the
that. That's
making
right.
of this. You're then going to take 2 Madagascar vanilla beans. Go ahead and take your knife and just slit those babies in half to really get that vanilla to ooze into the bourbon. So you want to throw 2 of those guys in. If you don't have those, you could sub it with vanilla extract or something like that. But you want the vanilla beans if you can. 2 of those guys in. Some people, I've seen people use multiple cinnamon sticks. I'm a 1 cinnamon stick guy. I don't think you need to go more than that. It's very overpowering if you don't throw the 1 cinnamon stick into the bottle as well. Then get 1 Granny Smith apple, peeled and cored, sliced thin, and shove those babies in the bottle as well. Cork it and thank me holiday week, Christmas week. You can enjoy. Your
Thank
apple
him, you
butter.
will. By the way, it's a great gift.
It's an awesome gift.
Buy
It's
like
great.
4 bottles.
Yep.
Do this out. You can, and I know that, listen, we got a
Yeah.
lot going on. Madagascar vanilla beans.
Yeah.
Pretty penny. You can also.
I found them at Costco like 2 months ago.
Really?
Like they had them. Like, and I got a bunch of them.
You got a bunch of beans.
So they're locked in. Bunch of beans. Great beans.
Great
It's the
beans, Larry. It's the
Beans,
beans.
Larry. It's the beans.
Yep.
No, you can use. I said vanilla extract, or you
Yep.
could
Yep,
do
yep,
any
yep,
of that in there. But I think the vanilla bean offers the best flavor of it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful
time.
for all of you.
Very, very much so.
10.
The next level is next. We're back Friday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.